Wedo agesino ye wedo yuraga hage heo wedo hakarega dore wana ora wedo wama ohana direda go ahead wedo wama wedo ma wedo ma wedo ma ma go ahead kissing na go ahead bedie walk amosie nataka kukupenda lakini wewe nisumbua 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 inauma lakini nitazoea
show with your host. All of that.
inauma lakini nitangojea
Guana. You guys are doing great. Happy Friday. It's Friday, man. Ready to the end of the week. 11 minutes past the top of the hour. Welcome to the Pan-African Bliss. My name is Joby.
nataka kukupenda
Anyway,
nisumbua nataka kukupenda
anyway,
nisumbua nataka kukupenda lakini wewe nisumbua nataka kukupenda lakini wewe nisumbua wedo ma
yes, karibuni sana. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Your week has been fantastic. And welcome to another episode of the Pan-African Bliss. My name is Joby, to those who are here for the first time. And to the returning listeners, as always, on the radio station, Spreaker, Spotify, all our streaming platforms. I hope your week has been fantastic. Mine has been great. I can't literally complain. Ready for the weekend. We've made it to the end of the week. And who isn't excited about that? Literally. But of course, karibuni, as today I take you through what has been happening in the last few hours right here in the continent of Africa. News and updates coming all the way from Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, DRC, Congo, Nigeria, Niger, Mali. We talk about all the matters that are affecting Africa on a daily basis. Karibuni sana once again. And of course, today we're going to be focusing on how Africa economy is under a very big danger when it comes to the puppets who are in control of or in charge of these countries. Because I think this week I was saying one thing I've learned is that they feel like they own these countries, but they don't. That's why they make decisions how they make them. We're going to be talking about the finance bill in the 254, the 2026 finance bill, which I think, again, Kenyans might be going back to the streets because of now how the taxes are about to change. So much has been changed or is about to change, including where it's like they want to put us on a phone bill like America, what I'm trying to understand, and which they're trying to say this is actually cheaper. They have reduced the taxes, giving us a whole list of how the taxes were being charged and now how they have reduced it. But if you try look at the method they're using, actually it has gone higher. Because if I am trying to understand what they're saying is, it's like we're going to be using our phones on a loan. And I've seen people who use those phones on a loan and how much they're paying. It's better you have money and buy a better phone, because they're always even shitty phones. They're not good phones. But much more of that conversation, we're going to be focusing also. I'm going to be starting with some new Lego videos that actually have been made of Africa. I don't know if it's African people are behind this or this is Iran, but I'm going to be sharing 3 of them as they expose how the white people have been exploiting the people of Africa. Talk about also Africa, we have Ruto, who is very confident, saying that he will be re-elected again and the election will be free and fair. We're going to be focusing on that. Kagame also talks about how Africa must learn to say no, as if he has learned that. And also we have a Moroccan billionaire who is actually, he has sold his only cement plant that is in France to focus on Africa expansion. We're going to be looking at this, and of course, why always Africa? But we have the answers, right? But before we get into that, remember to get the supplements we have on our application, and you can get the app on the Google Play Store. If you are an Android device user, if you're using an iPhone, we have an active website link, www.Blackout Network. With that being said, some brilliant focus should do some magic for you, help you with critical thinking, help you get through this conversation, and so much more that we have under
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just 1 capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Very affordable price. And as we get started with today's conversation, I'm going to start with these Lego videos. I don't know who is behind them, but shout to the person behind them, which are showing how white people have been behind so much that has been affecting African people.
American, listen close.
We are not your enemy.
We are not your enemy. We are the voice from Africa.
Sounds like some Nigerian.
We come with no gun, no flag, only memory.
What your leaders did, they did not tell you.
We are here to tell you now.
Sit down and listen well.
They built the banks on our backs. They built the labs on our blood. They built the bombs from our soil. They built the empires from our bones. And they never told you a word.
What was stolen from black people?
It's such a good song, though. You know, I really love this one, actually.
Land,
The gold,
the bodies,
the names
the hands,
of Congolese children cut for rubber,
the cells,
of Henrietta Lacks,
blacks taken in Baltimore.
the uranium from Shinkolobo in Hiroshima.
The bronzes of Benin.
One the Portuguese came 10 1660, King James of England built the Royal African Company. He burned his initials on African children with hot iron. The De Wolf family of Rhode Island moved 10,000 of us. Senator James De Wolf built his fortune on it. JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, New York Life, Aetna Insurance. They wrote the policies on our bodies. They have admitted this Brown University is named for slave traders. Yale, Harvard, Princeton, built on the same trade. 12 million Africans put on the ship. 1.8 million died in the water. 388,000 brought to your country, American. Your banks still hold the mortgage on the bones of my ancestors. This is on the record. Read it yourself.
They built the banks on our backs, yeah. They built the labs on our blood, yeah. They built the bombs from our soil. They built the empires from our bones, and they never told you a word.
What was stolen from black people? The land, the gold, the bodies,
the names,
the hands
of Congolese children
cut for rubber. The cells of Henrietta,
that's taken
in Baltimore.
The uranium
from Shinkolowe in Hiroshima.
The bronzes of Benin in London. The truth, the truth, the truth.
They stole the truth.
They stole the truth
from you too. King Leopold of Belgium killed 10 million in the Congo for rubber. They cut the hands off children. The Casement report proved it in 1904. Germany they committed genocide on the heroin. Now I'm from 1904. 80% died. Eugene Fisher trained Joseph Mengele. Their Britain ran concentration camps in Kenya. Castration, rape.
It's so beautiful. Like, it's so beautiful. I love the message. I love the flow. Man, these AI videos are so good. Like, it's so good. I'll do that one more time when I wind up the show. Here's another one.
The Democratic Republic of Congo holds 70% of the world's cobalt. Your iPhone needs cobalt. A child dug it. Yeah. Let me tell you about the Democratic Republic of Congo, a nation sitting on $24 trillion worth of minerals below. Cobalt, coating, lithium, gold, diamonds in the ground. But the people living there cannot hear a prosperous sound, because the deal was made in boardrooms far away in California. Apple, Tesla, Google, Dell, and Microsoft.
Let me warn you.
In 2019, a federal lawsuit was filed, Doe versus Apple. 14 Congolese families stepped forward, ready to grapple. They said our children went into the tunnel and never came back home. Some died at 8 years old, some at 10 digging cobalt from a hole. No helmet, no gloves, no oxygen, no safety, no protection. Just a child's bare hands serving apples. Profit and production. The cobalt leaves Congo in the rising Chinese processing plants. Then it goes inside your battery, while a Congolese mother chants the name of a dead son who was buried under artisanal mine collapse. And Apple stock price rose while she was grieving, and perhaps the poorest province of a country that should be the wealthiest on earth. But colonization never ended. It just changed its name at birth.
They call it a supply chain. We call it a death train. Running from Kinshasa to Cupertino's profit game.
This is not a conspiracy.
This is a court document file.
This is not a rumor.
This is the death of a Congolese child. Congolese child.
Apple knew, Tesla knew, Google knew. Yeah, all knew the source. They chose the cheapest cobalt,
and they say the course.
Every iPhone sold, every battery charged,
every screen that glows
has a fingerprint of a dead child.
Nobody in America knows.
The Katanga province in southern Congo is where the mining happens daily. Children called creasers, small-scale miners, working while their bodies fell slowly. They descend into tunnels that can collapse at any moment without warning. Parents and children, because adults cannot fit, and they need the earning. $1 a day, sometimes $2 for cobalt that Apple buys for pennies.
It's crazy because that's the truth. None of these companies, I was talking about this week, none of these companies have been held accountable. Tesla, Google, Apple, Microsoft, none of them have been held accountable for everything they have done in Congo. And they're still expanding more places in Africa to exploit, finding more regions to exploit, as if it's not enough. Shout out to these Lego videos, man. They are really exposing so much, and I hope people will connect the dots and learn even a thing or two, because it should tell you something if you've not been knowing anything. This is the part 2 of
Rape the pipeline, hidden at Hanslow Park for 50 years. In 1961, the CIA killed.
This is the part 2 of the first one. Oh, okay. This is the part 2 of the first one.
Patrice Lumumba. His body was dissolved in acid. The church committee confirmed it in 1975. Ronald Reagan vetoed sanctions on apartheid in 1986. Nelson Mandela stayed on your terror list until 2008 in Tulsa. 1921, a white mob burned Greenwood. Planes dropped bombs from the sky in Philadelphia. 1985, your city dropped a bomb on a Wu family. 5 children died. Nobody was prosecuted. Public record. The cobalt in your phone, Congo. The uranium in Hiroshima, Congo. The bronze is in the British Museum, Benin. Cells in your medicine. Henrietta Lacks. The Tuskegee man, the Greenwood ash, the Hampton bed, the Lumumba acid American. Look down at your hand. Look down at your hand. You see it now. You see us now. We are not your enemy. We did not write the laws. We did not vote the budgets. We did not give the orders. Your leaders did. In your name with your tax dollars. They never told you. Now you know. Tell your neighbor. Tell your child. Tell the next American. The truth. Stolen too. Pass it on. Pass it on. American. We come back to speak. The first song told you what was stolen. This song tells you who they killed. Sit down. We are not here to shout. We are here to read you the names. Listen close. They killed the ones who spoke. They killed the ones who built. They killed the ones who freed us. They killed the ones who tried to lead, and then they wrote your history books themselves. Say their names: Patrice Lumumba of the Congo, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, Steve Biko, Thomas Sankara, Maurice Bishop. The bullets were not random, the orders were written down, the files are now open. The church committee printed them, read page after page. American. Your government signed the papers. Say their names again. January 1961. Patrice Lumumba, taken from his people in the Congo. The CIA authorized it under Eisenhower. Belgian forces did the shooting. His body dissolved in acid. February 1965. Rape.
Yeah, so literally, those are all the 3 of them, showing you history. It's even painful when you listen to all of it. It's literally, this history is really painful, and they want us to forget about it, as if they're not actively trying to make it repeat itself in this country. It's crazy because the people are also behind it. They're the same people telling us now today how we must learn how to say no. Shout out to Paul Kagame. This is what he had to say. Let me share this video.
We can't just be people who are waiting to be ripped off by somebody who is shrewd enough and has the power to come. No, we must be able to say no.
Have you said no? Did you say no to you being used and paid to invade DRC Congo? Did you say no to the genocide that was happening in your country? Did you say no? You never said no. There's nothing you've said no to. You know, it's crazy how this guy sounds so intelligent, but he's one of the people who have done the worst things in history. So say no to what? Did you say no to you not being a president again? As a matter of fact, you ensured you're the top presidential and the most voted for by the Gen Zs, right? 99% of win. Did you say no? I think it's time the young people are given the opportunity to become leaders. You didn't say no to that. This is bluffing again.
And we've seen.
And
we can't just be people who are waiting to be ripped off by somebody.
Let's listen to this one.
No, we must be able to say no.
Mute this one.
And it is not just in this case of Rwanda, but in other cases. Sometimes sanctions are just applied in a case of the one who provides less than the other. Yes, so it goes in the favor of the highest bidder. When somebody knows they will extract more from a certain place, they will be more favorable to that place, even if they are the ones in the wrong.
Do you believe that all roads lead to mineral deals? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it is in the open. I don't have to say much. And in some cases, it operates like in the very old days.
I won't say much because you've been one among the people who have participated on that openness of stealing of resources from your neighboring country. Of course, you won't have much to say. It's on the open, and it's crazy how he's openly talking about what they do because you're part of it. Why wouldn't you say it's who are we talking about? And call them by the names.
Sanctions. One has, first of all, are they justified? In the old days, the kings and so on and so forth used to give their in-laws, their children, powers, say, go and control something somewhere. And that's happening today here.
Yeah.
Yes, they just give somebody, say, go and get whatever you want to, and do whatever you want to do in that region. That is how Africa is treated. So these powers you see that come here lecturing people on democracy, human rights, and they are doing it with one arm, and the other, they are just taking away everything.
You'd really think you listen to him, you'd really think there's nothing wrong he's ever done. You think this man is the perfect president of this continent. Man, are you listening to what he's saying? Like, it's like he's not done a goddamn thing. He's not been involved in working together with these leaders who come here and exploit us, these international countries. It's not involved. Like, he's so innocent. It's so mind-blowing how nonchalant these people can be on these conversations, knowing very well they have big time participated and contributed to their countries or countries being exploited. Wow. It gets worse.
That people own. So, and this is what is critical. This is why Africa, leaders of Africa, some of whom are here, are brothers, there is a lot of cynicism in this. In the old days, the king and the CEOs and other Africans, I think we need to give ourselves value of some kind.
You've already given your value to the white people. So even you don't even know what you need. So you don't know how to say it. What you need is dignity within yourself as an African, because you've lost your dignity to please white people. The value that's added to your dignity is in your countries, the resources, but you've given it all away to white people. So what are we talking about here?
We can't just be people who are waiting to be ripped off.
Okay.
By somebody who is shrewd enough and has the power to come. No, we must be able to say no.
And we've seen
crazy. One of the persons of a few comments so you can understand that you'll hear him talking the same way we had Ruto when he became a president. This is the bullshit he was saying. Oh, we must. And people called him a Pan-Africanist. Oh my God, this is the Pan-Africanist. He should be the president of Africa. Oh my God. And then until come 2024, people saw his true colors. The rest of the Africans saw his true colors because we had experienced it in 2007 and even more. So as much as people are in denial thinking this is a changed man, so if we vote him for presidency or nothing, now you've seen it. You're experiencing it. Your tribalism, your lack of critical thinking, not understanding the system has gotten us to where we are today. Many people praised him. Oh, he's a Pan-African. Today, that's not the same chat that I hear on the street or on the comments. Not anymore. As a matter of fact, I've seen a couple of videos of people asking, tell me which is the worst president in Africa. And all the comments is Kenya. Even people are not living in Kenya. The flags are Kenya, 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 Kenya. It's crazy. Someone says, this is one of the brilliant African president. I'm always proud to listen to Paul Kagame. Of course you are. He sounds very intelligent. Very intelligent. A man of his words. A loved man in his country. Yet the people cannot speak about anything about him, not even on social media. Someone says we hope the meeting you guys had in Nairobi will be a fruitful one. Yeah. Someone says, bruh, without being based, we are the last country to tell others to say no. When everything is controlled by the West, vaccines and medicines, they always dump in our country. We work with Israel in many things, and IPAC is as if it has a headquarter in Rwanda, without mentioning how Bill Gates works with our Ministry of Health, not even the ICT. But here we are saying we must learn to say no. Okay, so we should start by being an example of others, not just words. And I bet this is actually probably a Rwandese, because he's talking based on Rwanda. The Kagame works with Israel and IPAC. There's an headquarter over there of medicines and all that. Yeah. So this bluffing. Someone says, can you explain to me why your president said no, that he will not remove these defensive measures in Congo? But from that, I see the US is going along with him slowly until he is forced to remove these measures. I'm not getting that comment over there. But the last one I can see, someone says, okay, yeah, but this is the only brilliant comment I've seen right here. The rest of the people are literally not educated enough to understand. And sadly, it's the majority. You hear him talking, you think this is the most intellect person in the room, educated. Another one is this one, the Pan-Africanist. Listen to him, how confident he is, how bold he is, thinking he's going to be coming back as a president. Listen to this man.
Will be re-elected.
And I will be re-elected by God's grace.
Be in the elections.
Of course, by God's grace, not by Gen Z's. Thank you. Yeah, by your God's grace, you're going to be re-elected. Not by the Kenyans. That's the difference. Yeah.
Next year, many observers are concerned that there could be violence, that the elections might not be free and fair.
Of course, of course.
Can you make sure that
there will be elections in Kenya next year? Elections will be free and fair.
Listen to his voice.
Elections will be peaceful. That I can give you a guarantee, because we are a solidly democratic country.
14th of May, 2026. These are his words. So we're looking forward to come 2027. During election, we see what's going to happen.
We believe in democracy. We believe in...
These people have already said there's no recording of videos during that day of voting. Why are you denying people to record videos? Since when? Are we supposed to be told what to do with our phones? On which specific day? Why are you telling people they should not record videos during the elections day? What are you so scared of? Why is it that you guys have put up a law that should fine anyone who is going to be recording or found recording videos or posted videos during the election date? What are you so scared of? Tell us if the elections are free and fair.
In the power of the people to decide. And Kenya.
So from God's grace to the people.
Has gone through many phases. We have learned lessons, difficult lessons sometimes.
Oh no. Oh my God. Oh no. He's such a good student that he learns lessons, isn't he? Amazing. How amazing.
But I think I can guarantee as president today that next year there will be elections, they will be free and fair, and they will be peaceful.
And you will be re-elected.
And I will be re-elected by God's grace.
By God's grace, not by the Kenyans.
And you will be re-elected.
Yeah, by the God's grace, not by Kenyans. We're waiting for 2027. We are waiting for 2027. Because if everything is going to be free and fair, let's try to understand this new finance bill, 2026 finance bill. Because so far what I've understood, we are turning to America at this point. We're about to be paying for phone bills. I don't know if it's phone bills, but we're going to be paying for us to use our phones. It's no longer you buy a phone and it's yours and you're done with everything. No, you pay for that phone every time you switch it on, or it's going to be switched off.
And being reported that now phones will be more expensive. Far from it. The phones will be more cheap.
The finance bill is back, and so is the fear.
Kama e-citizen nimesikia wameongeza 100 juu. Sasa wewe ni Mkenya.
So apparently for the e-citizen, this is so crazy. So apparently for you to also use the e-citizen, you must pay. You must pay to access government services as a Kenyan. Amazing.
Unalipia ili ku access the government services. Au. So wangeweka tu pesa kidogo. Sasa hizo wanaongeza bei kwa nini?
But this time the government is trying something very different. We see in 2024 the finance bill nearly toppled the government. However, in 2026, that same government is frantically building a wall of smoke to make sure it never happens again.
Of course, so they're doing that by using the youth paid youth to go with these placards outside acting like they are okay with the finance bill. This is the finance bill for the youth. It favors the youth. There's nothing we're supposed to be demonstrating about.
We see John Mbadi,
some dumbass, uneducated people who are going to be accepting petty money to go and push something that is going to be affecting you, your life, your whole generation and children.
The secretary and apparently the government's chief anxiety management officer has spent the last 48 hours doing something that can only be described as verbal gymnastics on steroids. He has been on an online campaign to convince us that the upcoming bill is basically a love letter to the economy. The man is marketing this finance bill like a miracle product with only 3 units left in stock.
It's the issue of phones. And being reported that now phones will be more expensive. Far from it. The phones will be more cheap.
Lies.
Far much cheaper. How? Presently, when you import any phone into the country, you pay the following. There is value-added tax of 16%. There is import duty, custom import duty of 25%. There is excise tax of 10%. There is import declaration fee of 2.5%. And there is railway development levy of 2%. If you add all that, it's coming to almost 55%. Now we are saying we collapse all these taxes into one, which is excise duty, which is currently at 10%. We make it 25% and do away with all other taxes on phones.
Now, listen where the scam comes in. So you think by them scrapping away 55% actually to 25%, god damn, the taxes have actually reduced. Listen to where the scam comes in.
But now...
But why is it a but? Where is there a but? Where is but coming from? If you guys are really reducing tax from 55 to 25, where are you adding a but? Scammer.
Point of levying the tax is shifted from the point of entry to when you are activating your phone.
So every time I need to activate my phone, I have to pay. Now it's no longer even up to the phone sellers. Now it's the phone sellers and me individually. I'm targeted to be consistently, unless I'm getting it wrong. Listen.
The beauty with that is you are
the beauty.
are only going to start paying tax on a phone that you are using, not phones that are kept in stores by business people. But anytime you want to activate your cellular phone, then now you pay the tax.
You hear the scam. So for how long am I supposed to be paying for this phone? Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Because I'm telling you already, this scam is very much active in Kenya. We have something called M-Kopa, phones called M-Kopa. So what happens is, maybe let's say you need a new phone, a smartphone to be specific, and you don't have $200 or $150, depends on the phone you want, right? The good quality or the quality of a phone you want, right? What you do is, let's say if you have a deposit of, out of $150 or $200, you have a deposit of $40, you give $40 to the shopkeeper and they give you the phone seller and they give you the phone. But now what happens, before or every day there's a subscription, there's an amount of money you're supposed to pay to complete, yes, the phone bill, the $200 or $150. But if you look at the quality of phone you're using and the amount of money you're paying, it's a scam. Because I'm seeing that in people. I'm seeing the types of phones people are using and the amount they're being charged every day for a certain amount of time. Let's say if it's 9 months, you can get a better phone with that money. I don't know if it really makes sense. God damn it. So and now so this is now a law. This is about to become the new scam. Oh my God. And if you don't pay, your phone is switched. You can't access WhatsApp. You can't make a phone call. You can't pay anything using M-Pesa. It's like you're completely phoneless until you pay the amount required daily. That's when you can have your phone activated or the subscription activated. Now, and this is bullshit they want to bring us in the name of they have reduced taxes. It's over.
So in a sense, it should make phones cheaper, especially imported
yeah, indeed.
phones cheaper. Because now the taxes are reduced.
I have a friend of mine who bought a phone with the same process I've told you, the M-Kopa, right? So the phone she got, normally, if I have that amount of money, it's a very cheap phone, okay? Like it's a really cheap phone. But now the amount of money she's paying, she can get a better phone instead of paying for all this monthly subscription. But sometimes this gets you like on a maybe critical condition. You lost your phone, maybe your phone was stolen and now you can't stay without a phone. So you use the cheaper deal you've been given, which is a scam. It is crazy.
The total rate of tax is at 25%. So whoever is saying that this proposal is going to make cellular phones expensive is completely missing the point.
Every cent.
No, there's no monthly bill or daily. It's daily. It's daily. So if you can't afford to pay daily, your phone is going to be switched off. There's no monthly. If you want to do monthly, you have to pay the whole amount at once. And not everyone can afford that amount of money that is supposed to be covered every day for a whole month at once. So people would pick paying daily.
Sentence arrives wrapped in polished reassurance. Every clause is presented as a misunderstood gift. You would think the finance bill was Kenya's answer to world hunger rather than another round of tax proposals that make ordinary Kenyans' wallets weep.
There is miscommunication around this. Why? The Mitumba representatives of the Mitumba business community came to see me after seeking an appointment with me. And I met them together with my team at the National Treasury. They expressed frustrations with regards to the current taxation arrangement. Because when you bring in Mitumba
are the second-hand clothes. For those who are not understanding what Mitumba is, those are the second-hand clothes. Now, mind you, they have already destroyed majority of the markets of where these people are selling second-hand shoes, handbags, clothes, where this big market is, right? In the name of modern marketing or building a modern market. They've already destroyed these people's business, and now they're about to increase taxes. Crazy.
Into the
Instead of you even ways how we can start promoting our economy by us becoming original producers of our own clothes. No, actually we're finding ways of how we can increase taxes on second-hand shit.
Country, there are taxes that you pay at the point of entry. And then you follow it through with more taxes down the lane, including income tax paid for by the Mitumba people or the Mitumba business people. They are saying it is cumbersome, fast, their line of business, the requirement of filing returns and even engaging accountants to calculate how much profit they make so that they are taxed on that is too costly to them, because they will be paying those accountants. There are KRA people chasing after them, asking them for payment. So they asked for a simplified tax system where they pay at the point of entry and no one comes again to demand for any taxes.
Lies, lies, big liar. Lies.
That is why, apart from VAT, which is paid at source, at the point of entry, we agreed with them that for income tax, we deem 5% of custom value of imported goods, whether clothes or whatever it is, as profit.
It is, in short, the kind of intense reassurance that only makes people more suspicious.
Of course.
Kuna tu tax moja hapo ambayo hiyo inakuwa introduced na kwa kweli itaenda kufinyilia mwananchi wa kawaida ule wa kila siku. Hii ya mitumba inakuwa imported outside the country. Na hiyo inasaidianga ule mwananchi wa kawaida. Ukiangalia saizi majority Nairobi, wale hawkers wako huku hivi downtown nini, almost everywhere mwana rely na hizo mitumbas. Mtumba yenye hata shosho anaweza wekewa kando na auzelekesa, ikiwekewa tax unaona itaenda tu juu. Na hiyo ndio inategemewa sana. So economy hapo hivyo unaona italima mwananchi wa kawaida.
So nikifika kwa mambo kama KRA kuwa na bank like records zako na pia vitu kama simu kutaksiwa, unaona aje kuhusu
hiyo mambo ya access? Unajua sipo, unajua inafaa kwanza public kuwe na public participation. Hawa tueleza wana access kivipi. You see right to access anybody banks credentials without the him or her consent, which na shida sasa ni unalipa hiyo tax na unapata sometimes system zinakataa kufanya. The problem is tax system ndio zinakataa kufanya. Kama hiyo tax inaccessiona inalipa venye inafanya, then system zinafanya, ingekuwa afadhali.
And then came the public participation. Mbadi hosted what was presented as a youth engagement forum where young Kenyans supposedly gathered to debate the budget and shape the future of the country through civic participation. On paper, everything looked proper. After all, public participation is legally expected before major legislations moves forward.
And they never do that.
And the images looked good. Young people seated in conference rooms, microphones, etc. But according to claims by one of the attendees, the reality behind the event looked very different. The youth alleged that many of those present were not independent participants at all, but hired attendees brought in to create the impression that the finance bill had received broad public engagement.
Government paid students to attend a fake public participation of the 2026 finance bill, and unfortunately, they were also given fake identity cards, as you can see here. So these students were promised that they were going to be paid 1,500 shillings at the end of the public participation, and they may be paid or they may not be paid. But many of the students did not expect forged identity cards. This cabinet treasury going to attend this function of the students are coming from nearby universities like Multimedia University and JKUAT. So when you look at these IDs, it has my picture on it, but every single detail in this ID is completely fake. Like for instance, my name is Rose Murogi, but here they've said my name is Monica Chepkoech. I come from Taita Taveta and I was born in 2003, and all of those details are completely fake. This other fake ID is allegedly belonging to my friend. So she's called Zainab Ali, but here they have said her name is Diana Chepchirchir and she comes from Nandi and she was born in 2004. And again, these details are completely false. And remember that these students were promised they were going to be paid 1,500 shillings at the end of the public participation. We don't know whether they're going to be paid or not. This public participation is not true. It's not legit because these students have been compromised and they're not going to be objective. They're not going to challenge the...
Exactly. So there's nothing as public participation here. There's nothing as public participation. You're paying people for them to attend your bullshit so you can use the same media which is used to fuel propaganda to make the nation think actually people are supporting your bullshit. You've been exposed.
2026 finance bill, and remember in the 2026 finance bill the government wants a budget of 4.82 trillion, which is the highest budget in the history of Kenya. And unfortunately in the 2026 finance bill they are also going to tax mitumba sellers. Second-hand clothes sellers are going to be taxed, and there are also other taxes on Kenyans. So when these youths go there and they keep quiet, they're actually compromising their futures, unfortunately. So we went undercover and that is what we uncovered. And by the way, we actually checked to see whether these details actually belong to real individuals or whether the details are just completely fake. So we used the IEBC verification portal. We checked for these details and we did not find the voters because we were worried that what if this tactic is used to rig elections in 2027?
Of course. It's not what if. That's what they want to do. There's no what if. It's part of their plan and it's working.
Which brings us to this question. What exactly is the government hiding in this year's finance bill? And are you ready to accept the finance bill? Or you'll reject it the way the 2024 finance bill was rejected?
So mi gava kuna ufala usikie. Mi kitu kwanza wanibambange wakiraise hizo ma finance bill. Unafaa tuangalie pia si watu sewa chini. Si ati najua gava first of all gava anakuwa na ufala. Wako na kichele. So angalie si wasewa chini. Hiyo kitu ni bosa. Wananibosa.
So opinion yako kwa vitu kama simu, plastics, kutaksiwa na pia KRA kuwa na access kwa bank records za mwananchi kama anajaribu kuevade tax, unaona aje kuhusu hiyo?
Kwanza wafai kuwa na access zangu. Hiyo tena watakuwa wametusoma. Fake wana access za waseti za bank nini. Tu wakitaka kukata kiseti wanakatia hapo. Hiyo ibambi. Hiyo si poa.
So ukiconsider vile protests za 2024 zilitana.
Basically it's just expressing how he doesn't like how these people steal money and they leave the majority who they have promised to deliver many projects, then they don't do that. There's no employment. He's talking about how they now want to get to access your banks. Of course, the taxes that are rising. And he's saying he's not going to, he is not comfortable with all this, and people should not be comfortable with this.
Na ukikompare sahi, ni lesson gani unadhani gava ili fail kulearn from that particular period?
Unajua sijenzi we can do more than venye tulifanya the last protest. So ni kama tu bado wajaona the real-us. Tukizamua tunaweza tokea tena tuwabombush.
Exactly, literally. And that's going to be planned, because the moment people are going to read these taxes, the 2026 and understanding the 2024 ones were also, some of them passed into existing today, literally. The moment people are going to understand what is already happening with the 2026 budget and taxes that they want to pass, people are going to go back to the street. That is what exactly he's saying. People are going to be forced to go back to the streets. I don't think they have learned anything from the 2024 youth's unity. It's going to get worse than how it is. But look at even worse, because the question is, how far or how bad is our economy? Look at this.
So according to a local newspaper, private sector loans growth shrinks for the first time in 22 years. Now, to give you perspective, 22 years is not a short time. People who were born in the year 2001, this is the lowest private sector borrowing has ever been. And of course, then the question then is it that the government is doing something wrong, or is it that the business environment has just become complicated? You begin to ask yourself this question. There are a couple of I want to suggest three reasons. I could be right, I could be wrong. But one of the reasons that private sector loans growth is shrinking, could it be that people no longer have confidence in the economy? Because many times businesses will borrow for capital investment, for capex. And if the businesses are not borrowing, it means then that there is uncertainty in the market and there is no incentive for businesses to continue growing. What would be some of the uncertainties? I don't know. Could it be that we are in an election mood, that the country is in an election mood? Could it be that investors are wondering what is going to be the next, political outfit, as it were? What is causing this uncertainty? The second reason why I believe the private sector loans growth are shrinking is that, again, remember that with the weakening Kenya shilling, what's happening is that the size of foreign currency denominated loans have significantly reduced. And consequently, now people are just not borrowing. But also the central...
We shouldn't be borrowing. At the end of the day, we shouldn't be. Why should we be kept in a position of borrowing?
Bank of Kenya has already reduced its benchmark rate. Now, to think about benchmark rate is that the Central Bank of Kenya...
What happened? I don't know what happened. What happened to my screen? Okay. Let me go back. I don't know what happened to my screen. Okay. Let me go back to use this. What's happening? What's happening?
Kenyans were told to tighten their belts so that the government could loosen theirs. Let me ask you, if Kenya is broke, why is government spending increasing? And if government is collecting more taxes than ever before, where is our money?
Exactly. Yeah? Exactly. Where is our money? Why are you taking loans? Yet we can't. What is really happening here?
In the beginning, we had Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. A president who borrowed heavily for infrastructure projects. But at the same time, billions of borrowed monies were lost to corruption. He even admitted it himself. Akisema Kenya loses 2 billion shillings every day to corruption. And in 10 years, Kenya's debt grew from 1.9 trillion to 8.6 trillion. Kumaanisha, on average, Uhuru alikuwa anatumia 670 billion kila mwaka for 10 years. Then, in came his political twin brother, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto, a man who promised Kenyans to cut spending, reduce borrowing, and run a lean government. And Kenyans believed him. But what happened to those promises, Mr. President? Because reality ni, in just 3 years, umeweka free gear, spending over 1 trillion every year. Today, we are seeing constant use of expensive helicopters by government officials, costing up to 8 million shillings per day. Huge foreign travels and delegations spending over 10 billion in just 6 months. Yani tunatumia 42 million every day kupiga malapa. 3, rising state house spending, which increased by over 400 million. Bwana. Does this look like a government in crisis or a government in luxury? And do you know how this government funds this lifestyle? Through your taxes, your pay deductions, your share deductions, you increase the NSF deductions, housing levy, rising fuel prices, and VAT and everything. Hadi maziwa ya watoto. So as you struggle, they spend. Take a look at John Magufuli. When his country was faced with economic pressure, he cut government spending, reduced unnecessary travel, and enforced discipline in spending. What about Javier Milei of Argentina? He fired over 37,000 public ghost workers and cut down his cabinet from 21 ministries to 8 ministers.
And shout out to Ibrahim Traore, who also cut the salary of so many people in different positions, because you gotta build the country.
And by just cutting his government by half, within a year, Argentina imeondokea shida ya pesa. Mr. President, you said we must live within our means. So wacha tuanzie hapa. Cut the size of your cabinet to 14 ministers, reduce state house expenditure, limit travel and delegation sizes, stop unnecessary borrowing, and scrap unnecessary budgets like the budget year office of the first lady and second lady.
Exactly.
Tusaidiane hapa, Mr. President, because Kenya is not just in debt. Kenya is being mismanaged. Tafakari ya Kabala.
You cannot say an economy is growing while you're securitizing, which is a better version of borrowing in a simplified way. And you do that to the railway development levy, to the fuel levy, the tourism levy. All these 3 levies have been securitized. The construction of Bomas of Kenya is being done with the tourism levy. The anticipated, which does not have a contract railway, the railway development levy is what is expected to move the railway from Narok to Kisumu. And the fuel levy is what is being used presently on a number of roads in the country as seed money, so that they can pool the resources to be able to build roads. Now, when an economy is growing, do you have to sell your shares in Safaricom? When an economy is growing, do you have to sell Kenya Pipeline? When an economy is growing, do you have to bring in the National Infrastructure Fund? Do you have to bring in private capital? Do you have to bring in private capital when an economy is growing? Is that how, can that be an indicator that an economy has grown while you're disposing of a lot of your assets? These are like Kenya Pipeline. Is not just an asset, it is a strategic, even security instrument that we have. Because remember, you sold 50% of your shares. One of the things you lose is your board members. And the decision of the CEO and the senior management is determined there. Soon, we'll have a Ugandan as the CEO of the Kenya Pipeline. Why? Because the board will determine that decision. They have now 50% of the shares, the president himself said. It is not about the potential. It is about the loss of strategic assets. And allow me to tell you that from the trend and a number of assets that the president and cabinet has approved for selling is going to be a bigger problem for the country.
All right, so the estates and satellite towns recorded a sharp drop in
less than 10 years.
The estates and satellite towns recorded a sharp drop in land values in the first quarter of 2026. Here are 7 of the most affected.
Less than 10 years after Kenya was declared a British protectorate, we experienced
I shared this on some time.
the first.
I'm not gonna share.
Kenyans, I want you to wake up. The IMF has faulted President William Ruto for giving fuel subsidies and also for lowering the price of VAT, the percentage of VAT. So we have a very big problem. IMF now, I'm thinking this week is when they're supposed to give feedback on whether they will be able to fund us for the.
We don't want anyone's funding. We need our taxes to we need to seek accountability of our we need to see accountability of our taxes, because as we talk, speaking about oil, the fuel prices have gone high. That was yesterday in the evening. The fuel prices in Kenya have gone high. When they told us, oh, we've subsidized, so no, nothing. The fuel prices have gone high. The matatus have said they're going to increase the bus prices from Monday. So the bike prices are also going to go high. It is not like this country doesn't have oil somewhere. This is crazy.
And away from that, a section of Kenyans have expressed frustrations following the latest fuel price hike announced by the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, EPRA, warning that increase will make life even harder for ordinary citizens. And our reporter Bramwell Bwire has been speaking to Kenyans and now joins us live. Good afternoon, Bramwell. What are Kenyans saying, particularly this time where already the cost of living is even higher?
Well, good afternoon, Beth. As you've said, yes, we're here in Kisumu, and it is not indeed a very good afternoon to the local Kenyan. This is because of the increase in the fuel prices that was announced yesterday by EPRA. Remember, 16 shillings on super petrol and then 46 shillings on diesel petrol. This is quite insignificant, and that is quite something that Kenyans did not expect when EPRA went to announce those figures, bearing in mind the high cost of living, bearing in mind the implication of the high cost of living that Kenyans have been subjected due to the high taxation that is being levied on. Remember, this is also coming few days just before Kenyans are prepared to get that new finance bill that will be read in Parliament sometimes next month. But for this bulletin, allow me to speak to a financial expert just to shed some light on what are the implications, what are the cost implications of this increase in fuel prices. Thank you, Joseph, for sparing time to speak to us on KTN. I'll start with one question. What is the implication? What does this increase in fuel prices mean to Kenyans?
Thank you so much. As you've clearly explained, my name is Joseph Ouma, Senior Financial Analyst at Expert. This sudden increase in fuel prices, specifically the increase on diesel, is very punitive. Within a span of 1 month, we've had the government increase fuel by almost 80 shillings on diesel. And the ripple effect on this is that it means the basic cost of commodities will go high. There'll be a sudden increase in fares and transport. There'll also be increase in various commodities or food items that Kenyans depend on. And this coming on the backdrop of an already burdened generation and nation. So it is very unfortunate. And I feel from a financial point of view, the government would have done much more than just the 5 billion money that they've made aside to cushion the increase in price. They would have probably maintained it level, because the president is on record about a month ago confirming that within the next 3 months there will be no increase in fuel prices. But now this, exactly a month after that declaration, with this rapid increase, and especially the increase in the fuel price of diesel, which is a commodity that most industries and most vehicles use, it's extremely unfortunate.
Joseph, you've mentioned something that I must ask you. You've talked about what the government should also have done. The president was categorical here that he has spared some 5 billion shillings that will cushion Kenyans against increase in fuel prices. A month later, the prices are still surging up. The figures are swelling every day.
Because Ruto is a liar.
What are the alternatives? Is this the best that the government can do?
Okay, one, you see, as much as our landing cost of the fuel in the country has increased by a certain proportion, but the government, in its wisdom, would have maybe tried to manage the taxation, because tax on diesel is almost an average of 76 shillings. So if they would have reduced that tax maybe 50%, then that would have absorbed the increase of physical diesel by 46, and also would have absorbed the increase in other various petroleum items like petrol and kerosene. But this having not been done, it basically means that the price of fuel has gone higher. So in my opinion, as a finance expert, the government should, one, manage the taxation on the fuel items. Two, also manage the corruption in the supply chain of fuel. Because some of these increase that the government claim no control on is just due to corruption of the middlemen and the various the supply.
And the president, say it, the president and his people, that is literally what's going on. The president and his people are busy stealing funds, making the lives of Kenyans very hard. And sadly, this is Africa. This is not just Kenya. This is Africa. Our economy is in a big danger because of these puppets. Under the control of these puppets, many people are suffering because of the decision making of these puppets. And we're supposed to be comfortable like nothing is happening. No. But I see Keith, who's in the building, Karibu says, and not repeat it. Repeat. It never stopped. And also says it's just another good speech. They never do any action like all the African puppets. I agree. The question is how is Africa rich and the people are poor? The same puppets. That's the reason why. As if he gives a shit with him winning election 99% of the vote. Exactly. You know, it's crazy. He's not going to tell who he's a puppet. Of course, all these fake ass leaders know that they are the reason why Africa gets exploited and left in poverty. That is so true. And adding that they are all cowards and scared of the white man. Exactly. Kagame is a puppet of Israel and the United States. Yep. So what is he saying? It's bullshit. Exactly. None of them are Pan-Africanists. Shout out to Macron. None of them are Pan-Africanists. That's some bullshit they all say. All you have to do is ask, why haven't you created a continental currency for the African people? Because white daddy has no say. And says exactly this moron is too unliked in his country to win fair elections. Yep, there's some shit from the West and the IMF to take money from African people. I agree. Shout out to you, Jibajaba. Again, Kid says it's a lie. Verbal gymnastics bullshit. Sounds like a Negro bubble to me. Exactly. They just make up anything and lie straight in your face. I know, it's crazy. And says it's called the Agenda 2030 subscription model paying forever for the white man banks. And that's what they are bringing globally. Exactly. I'm going to wind up with that Lego video again. It literally showed so much. And says you own nothing and be happy, Joby. That's what they are doing. Agenda 2030, the World Economic Forum, and the Rothschilds. I agree. And this, we need to say no to this. What is the most reliable, cheapest monthly phone bill? Approximate 70 Kenyan shillings. That is less than $1. Yeah, 70 Kenyan shillings. That's what I've seen the lowest someone paying. Yeah, and also see you saying these guys talk a lot of shit. Exactly. Who determines the custom value? What if there is more than actual selling price? What a ripoff? Because it's all a scam of just stealing more and more. Crisis actors for hire. Exactly. So so are the NGOs that dump those clothes getting taxed? No, they don't. They want you to go to the streets and protest, then crackdown is legitimized for security. And also see Jiba says, does Nairobi have a public transportation with steady route times like a bus or light rail trail? Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. We have something we call stages, where there's stages for different routes. So if you live in somewhere else within Nairobi, or different parts of Nairobi, there are bus stations for all those routes. So you just go there. Some you have to queue a line. Some you just, alight because the buses from that route, there are literally many. So it's crazy because the bus prices going high. This is going to hurt so many people's pocket. This is going to hurt so many people's pocket. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. But I'm going to wrap it up with this video here as we come to the end. This video I started with here of the Lego video. It's not playing. Damn. Let me share it again.
American, listen close.
We are not your enemy.
We are not your enemy. We are the voice from Africa.
We come with no gun, no flag, only memory.
What your leaders did, they did not tell you.
We are here to tell you now.
Sit down and listen well.
They built the banks on our backs. They built the labs on our blood. They built the bombs from our soil. They built the empires from our bones. And they never told you a word.
What was stolen from black people?
The land,
the gold,
the bodies,
the names,
the hands
of Congolese children cut for rubber,
the cells
of Henrietta
Lacks taken in Baltimore,
the uranium from Shinkolobwe in Hiroshima,
the bronzes of Benin in London.
The truth, the truth.
They stole the truth from you too.
In 1441, the Portuguese came. 10 Africans taken to Prince Henry. In 1660, King James of England built the Royal African Company. He burned his initials on African children with hot iron. The De Wolf family of Rhode Island moved 10,000 of us. Senator James De Wolf built his fortune on it. JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, New York Life, Aetna Insurance. They wrote the policies on our bodies. They have admitted this Brown University is named for slave traders. Yale, Harvard, Princeton, built on the same trade. 12 million Africans put on the ships. 1.8 million died in the water. 388,000 brought to your country, American. Your banks still hold the mortgage on the bones of my ancestors. This is on the record. Read it yourself.
They built the banks on our backs. Yeah. They built the labs on our blood. Yeah. They built the bombs from our soil. They built the empires from our bones. And they never told you a word.
What was stolen from black people? The land, the gold, the bodies,
the names,
the hands
of Congolese children
cut for rubber. The cells of Henrietta
Lacks taken
in Baltimore.
The uranium
from Shinkolobwe in Hiroshima.
The bronzes of Benin in London. The truth, the truth, the truth.
They stole the truth.
They stole the truth
from you too. King Leopold of Belgium killed 10 million in the Congo for rubber. They cut the hands off children. The Caseman report proved that in 1904 Germany they committed genocide on the heroin. Nama from 1904, 80% died. Eugene Fisher trained Joseph Mengele. Their Britain ran concentration camps in Kenya, castration, rape.
Yeah, so literally, you see, it's really explaining so much, so much that is still very much happening today. It's so crazy. Yeah, I know, it's very accurate. I really love the sound, the thing. It's just, everything is just perfect. Shout out to the people making this Lego video. But that's where we come to the end of today's session. That has been my time with you guys today. Have yourselves a beautiful rest part of your morning. Thank you for those who managed to tune in this amazing morning, and wishing you a beautiful rest part of your day. If you manage or to come back, we're coming back with the Rhythm Scoop Show. So come and see what we're going to be talking about. Of course, we're going to be discussing about the Matatu transport going up, the fuel prices. There may be possibility of demonstrations as well, because what Ruto is trying to do is going to force people to go back to the streets. People are not going to accept this. It's not going to be acceptable. But have yourselves a beautiful rest part of your morning and have a good one. Peace, and I'm out.
American.